Good morning and welcome. My name is Carla Thorpe. I'm the District Family Engagement Coordinator for Houston County Schools. It is indeed a pleasure to be able to share with you today some tips and strategies that we use here in our system to gather input from our families. It is our hope that you will find this presentation useful in the work that you're doing in your own district. Let's go ahead and get this presentation started. Our presentation objectives. We want to share Houston County's process for gathering parent input to meet the requirements for Parent and Family Engagement Indicator 8 on the cross-functional monitoring document. We also want to share documents used with our district to organize, implement, and to monitor the shared decision-making process. Our mission is to produce high-achieving students, and our vision is that our system will be world-class. Houston County is located in central Georgia, encompassing the cities of Perry, Warner Robins, and Centerville. Our board office is located in Perry. We are the 14th largest school district in the state, and we are currently educating nearly 30,000 students across 38 campuses, of which 21 are Title I schools, 13 elementary schools, 5 middle, 2 high, and 1 in the alternative setting. Each title school has a full-time family engagement coordinator on site. And we're also fortunate enough to have a full-time district family engagement coordinator who supervises the parent programs across all title schools. Now, this next slide is one that I know that we're all very familiar with, as it has been lifted directly from our federal monitoring document. It states that the LEA must provide evidence of parent input for each of the following required compliance components, A through D. A, input into the parent engagement plan. B, input into the school parent compact. C, input into building school and staff capacity with parents. And lastly, D, input into the 1% set aside for parents and family engagement activities.
In Houston, our primary method for gathering input is by hosting formal shared decision-making meetings. These meetings we hold annually in the spring of each year. We hold them at the district level and at the school levels. For this presentation, I want to focus on our school level meetings. Our school level meetings are broken up into 3 sessions: our parent session, our faculty session, and our leadership session. Our SDM process was created and implemented about 5 years ago as a way to ensure consistency across our Title I schools and the way in which we could collect all of the input from our families. The shared decision-making flowchart begins with our parent meeting. We want to hear from our parents first. Once we've heard from our parents, then we have our faculty input meeting, and we end finally with our leadership meeting. This protocol also details a timeline and the materials needed to execute and input this process. It's important to note that as feedback is gathered at each one of these levels, it is passed on to the next. The information that is gathered, we use it to revise our plans and our compacts and our procedures for the next school year. Let's take a closer look at level 1, our shared decision-making parent meeting. From the district level, we ask schools in preparation and execution of their shared decision-making parent meeting to set a date for the formal meeting sometime in late February and March. We ask that they gather all their plans, their compacts, their student data, their survey results, and utilize all of that in the planning process and have it available to share with families. We ask that schools advertise their meeting through multiple means at least 3 weeks prior to the meeting. We ask that they conduct the meetings following an agenda. They are required to use the required feedback card that's provided by the system to gather the input from their families. It is also important to note that we support our schools by providing sample documents for them to use if it's necessary. We provide sample invitations, agendas, sign-in sheets, and the required feedback cards. Our family engagement coordinators are able to locate or reference these documents in our Family Engagement Reference Notebook that is available on OneNote. I will share that resource with you a little later in the presentation. How a SDM meeting is conducted is strictly left up to the schools. Schools are able to decide whatever format works best for them and their families. Most of our schools use one of these three methods. They will either use the roundtable discussion method, or the open forum method, or the gallery walk. It doesn't matter which format they choose, as long as there is a facilitator there to share the information with the parents, to make sure that parents are clear on the documents, and also that the feedback card is utilized and completed. What I would like to share with you now are some sample documents or samples of documents that we use. This is our shared decision-making checklist. At the school level, our family engagement coordinators use this document as a self-check or a self-monitoring piece. They're able to ensure that their meeting has taken place within the required time frame. They're able to document the forms of advertisements that they used. We do require that they do 3 or more. This document reminds them to attach their agenda or any minutes that they may have taken, to include the originals of their feedback cards. We also ask for the number of respondents, parents and students, and then lastly they are to attach their sign-in sheets. This document covers both the parent shared decision-making meeting and the faculty shared decision-making meeting. And if you'll note at the bottom, there are other opportunities for input where that information is recorded as well. Another sample that we provide is our shared decision-making agenda. Just an example for the schools that may need it. What I'd like for you to see in this document is that the overview of Title I documents specifically explains or shows the documents that we want our schools to go over with our parents. And those documents are aligned with the requirements according to the monitoring document. The 1% set aside, our parent engagement plan, our school parent compact, the satisfaction survey results are shared, and then all budgetary items are discussed as well. This document is the feedback card. Parents are given one and they're able to complete each of the items listed there. There are 5. Item 1 asks for input regarding the school improvement plan. Item 2, the 1% set aside. Item 3, the parent engagement plan. Item 4, the school parent compact. And then parents are able to respond or give us feedback regarding building school staff capacity. The items are geared towards pulling information from parents that they would want us to know or change or just consider as it would be beneficial to them. And so we take great stock in what parents say in their feedback when they're using this particular method. Other ways that we gather input are through our secondary methods, and they're listed here. We use an annual Title I satisfaction survey every year, typically in February, March, that is conducted. Our schools are required to hold parent action team meetings twice a year. Each school is required to have a feedback link on their school's website. Exit surveys have to be conducted following academic events, and then during parent-teacher conferences, the compact is to be reviewed. So let's take a look at some of these documents up close. This is our Title I Parent Satisfaction Survey. Embedded in our survey are questions regarding the 1% set aside and building school staff capacity. We also asked parents if the parent engagement plan and compacts were they clear and were they easy to understand, along with a number of other topics that are covered here. Our parent action team are very informal ways to meet parents and have them or give them the opportunity to tell us how our parent programming is going. During these times, our family engagement coordinators are able to solicit feedback on a wide variety of topics, including those regarding compliance. Each one of our Title I schools is required to have a feedback link on their school's website so parents can provide input at any time. Here's a sample from one of our schools. Next, parents can also give input on exit surveys that are conducted at the end of every academic-based parent event. Exit surveys are a simple way to ask parents if the event was beneficial to them or if additional support is needed in some area. Also, we have our sign-in sheet as a sample here, our sign-in sheet for our parent-teacher conferences. What's interesting about this document is that it's used when teachers are conferencing with parents, but it also reminds them that the compact must be reviewed during that time. So there's a place for parents to indicate that it was reviewed with them, and they also can have the opportunity to discuss the contents of the compact as well as offer any suggestions or recommendations regarding that document at that time. Our system works diligently to inform parents of the various input opportunities that are available to them. We advertise using multiple forms of media in order to get the word out. It's really important for us to hear from our parents so that we're able to improve our processes, improve our documentation, and improve the quality of our students' education. And so we really want parents to know that we want to hear from them and that they're a part of this process. And once we've provided all of the opportunities for input, our schools are able to upload their documents and reports into Title I Crate. We started using Title I Crate to collect and monitor our documents during the 2017-2018 school year. We found it to be very simple and easy to use. And what we like most about it is that the Title I Crate company uses a platform that uploads our monitoring document and the files correlate to the document exactly. And so just as the monitoring document is set up, it is also set up that way in Title I Crate. So we found it very useful and very easy to use. In this next slide, you're able to see an example of that. This is actually the folder for parent input. And in this example, our school, Centerville Elementary, has uploaded all of their input documentation into the folder. And once it's there, I'm able to go in and look at the documents that they've submitted. I can either reject them or accept them. And then once they're all accepted, the folder is good to go and we don't have to worry about it or keep going into it. It's done. Here you'll notice that Centerville has their checklist uploaded, their shared decision-making parent meeting packet uploaded, their exit surveys are there, their online feedback form, their parent action team meeting, parent satisfaction surveys, and their compliance checklist are all uploaded into their folder on Title I Crate.
I'd also like to share just one other tip that has proven to be very beneficial to me and just our total family engagement program. About a year or so ago, we created a reference notebook within OneNote, and we use it as a training manual and just a place where all of our coordinators are able to go and have access to all of our documents and just our process and procedures. So if you will, follow along with me as we go through the reference notebook. If you'll notice, this is a cover page, and there are tabs for varying items and topics covered in family engagement. About halfway down, you'll see shared decision making. And so our coordinators are able to go into this tab and have access to all of the documents related to shared decision making. Click on the first tab, you'll see our shared decision making checklist that we talked about earlier in the presentation. If they're looking for the flow chart, there it is. Sample agendas. There's even a sample PowerPoint from one of our schools that they can use and maybe even model their own presentation after. Our feedback cards are here, parent feedback cards, faculty feedback cards, and the corresponding sign-in sheets are here as well. What I would like to make note of, this has really been useful in the fact that it helps us train our new coordinators as they come on, and they know exactly where to go if they're looking for information or different templates or things to use. And even if they're looking for a process in the way that we do things within the program, it's been super beneficial. I would encourage other systems to look at some platform like this. It keeps you from having to recreate the wheel. And with this, any document that you upload, it's in real time. It's there just as soon as you upload it. And it keeps you from having to kill a whole lot of trees because with everything being electronic, it's there for you to use and it's very handy. So this is a good tip, I think, as you're going through the monitoring process. And it's free. All through Microsoft. So consider that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I certainly will walk you through it. As we conclude our presentation today, please remember that one size does not fit all, and that whatever you may have taken from this presentation or found beneficial, use it and make it your own in your own district. It has been a pleasure to be with you today, and I hope that I shared something that will be useful. Thank you.